with. They're in abject poverty. They have parents who don't have the best parenting skills in the world. They're growing up way too fast. Instead of them being separated from conversations, they're allowed to hear conversations so that the slickness of their talk becomes older than what their actual capacity of understanding what that stuff really is. And so at the end of the day, we allow that to begin to say that this is the child's fault and that the parents don't have any culpability in it. Or we say that the parent has all the culpability and the child doesn't. I'm not saying either or. I'm just saying that, look, at the end of the day, my dear friend loved me, period. It was, let me just say it, it wasn't tied to anything else, y'all. It wasn't tied to me being cool. It wasn't tied to me having money. It wasn't tied to me playing sports. It wasn't tied to anything but me and him had a bond. And it wasn't just us two. It was a group of us that had a bond that it was no need to talk about how we felt about each other. And as we got older, and I'm gonna mess with you on this one for a minute, Sylvester, before we take our break and come back and conclude this. At the end of the day, there were some people who grew up faster than others. Mm-hmm. And there were some people who were in their 30s and even in their 40s who still hadn't figured it out yet. Mm-hmm. But the love was still legitimate and it was real. And the expectation, you knew what kind of expectation that you could put on that person.
Amen. Amen. And you loved them anyway.
You loved them anyway, because you loved them this long. You might as well go ahead and finish the journey with them. And with that being said, y'all, we're going to take our last break. We're going to come back, y'all. You're listening to The Front Porch.
My grandma always says everyone counts, and everyone who lives with us is special. Like my aunt, who took me on my first bus ride to the library, or my older cousin, who walked me to my first day of school, even my mom's friend and her baby who live with us.
The census informs funding for schools, roads, healthcare, and more. So count everyone in your home, including all children on the 2020 census. It's your chance to help them for the next 10 years. You can respond online, by phone, or by mail. Shape your future. Start here. Learn more at 2020census.gov.
And we're back, y'all. We're going to finish up here. We talked about hindsight. We talked about insight. We talked about foresight. And now we're just going to add a new segment to our conversation talking about what is right. And so we're going to give each of our illustrious co-hosts the opportunity to tell us what is right about this idea of that which is understood does not need to be explained. And we're going to start off with my dear brother, Willie.
All right. Well, thank you, Patrick. And so what is right? It is very very interesting the way that this whole conversation has been going. For me, I'd say what is right is to train up and teach our future generations, our 7 generations down the line, the same things that we learned as children as we were growing up, to try and keep them from falling in the same or even different obstacles, and try and keep them from having to bump their head. You know, that's the biggest thing we can offer our children, other than giving them life. You know, you teach them the lessons that's going to help them become greater and achieve as much as they want to in this life.
All right. Thank you, Willie. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for allowing us to hang on your front porch, man. Come on, Sylvester. Give it to me, man. What is it, man?
I want to build on what my brother Willie said, because I think what Willie said is really, really, really important. I hope I said 3 reallys in there. But you know, there are some things that are important as we go forward, right? So, and as we go forward, what's right is that we not forget about what allowed us to be where we are today, right? So even as we have this conversation in the cell phone generation where everybody has a cell phone in their pocket, right? I'm remembering the time when we had a house phone and there were some expectations of what time you were supposed to be off that phone, right? And so just because your children have a cell phone don't mean that they get carte blanche access to that telephone, right? So what I'm really saying is we need to have not only some values and some expectations in our homes, not only do we need to have some values and some expectations in our neighborhoods, we need to have some values and some expectations in our community so that we can get back to what Brent Miller said, what's once understood need not be explained. You already know what the rules are, and you're going to follow them. And these rules are in place not to serve you only today, but these rules are going to serve you well into your adulthood. What's once understood need not be explained.
That's what's up. I appreciate you, Sylvester. Thank you for allowing us to hang out on your front porch. All right, Professor, come on and land this plane.
No, I think we talked a lot about relationship, during this time. So I'm just thinking like the common denominator for all of us is that somebody loved us enough to hang in there with us, right? In spite of us. And I think the same should apply for us, casting that seed for the next generation, right? That we have to demonstrate, model, teach, exhibit, be an example of what love is in spite of, right? It's easy to love somebody to love you back, but that ain't love. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I heard once before, when love becomes conditional, manipulative, or deceitful, it ceases to be love, right? So really the issue is, are we willing to love and not receive anything in return?
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think what is right is that we love regardless. We love regardless. And I think if we go back to that scripture, train up a child in the way they should go, so that when they get older, they what? May not, no, they will not depart, right? Mm-hmm. So I think if we do what we're supposed to be doing in love, then they're going to be all right. Our children, our children's friend, the next generation.
Amen.
But we're challenged with that, though, not them.
There you go. That's what's right.
Come on now, that's it, man. And as I see the flickering of the street light, I'm reminded of that deep prophet Stevie Wonder when he said, "True love asks for nothing. Her acceptance is the way you pay."
Right.
So that's where we are right now. And I just want to thank y'all this evening for allowing these community proverbs, which are the sons and daughters of knowledge, to come in and guide our conversation tonight. I want to thank each and every one of my co-hosts for being here tonight. Want to thank our technician, our sound engineer, and our musician, Matthew McNeil, for holding it down. Thank you, Gloria McNeil, for holding me up. And thank all of you for listening to us this evening. But the street light is on. We got to head on in, and we'll see y'all next time when we'll be gathering once again, y'all, on the front porch. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.